Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this.
Without having some measurable snow. So how is this all going to shake out? We've got our storm working its way into the Pacific Northwest here for tonight. And then an upper level piece of energy is going to be diving down across parts of California, and the storm getting a little bit more organized here. This is good news in that it's going to be bringing rain into the much needed drought areas and snowpack on the way to parts of the Sierras as well as through the Four Corners and into the Rockies. So this system has some potency to it. It's kind of a fast mover. But that said, I do think it's going to be enough that we could be talking about double-digit snowfall to some areas that desperately need it. Cold enough air on the backside of all of this that snow levels are going to be dropping down. We'll see snow go down to the lake level, we think, here in Tahoe. And look at all the winter storm watches which have been posted now ahead of this snowstorm. So this stretches from California through Nevada, Utah, Colorado, on up into parts of Wyoming, Nebraska, and South Dakota. And it could still go beyond that because we're watching places like Iowa, Minnesota, and Wisconsin that are going to get in on the action down the line. But we'll start out where our confidence is highest, and that's in parts of the west as this storm system gets going. You can see rain likely in places like Los Angeles. Las Vegas, I'm not sure you're going to get it. A better chance in northern parts of Arizona. Look at the snowfall into the Wasatch. That could reach into the double digits. Some good skiing weather is on the way. This map shows you the red and orange colors. This is the drought monitor, and almost every corner of the west has some stage of drought with the exception of western parts of Washington state. So to see this kind of widespread precipitation on top of areas that need it, this is such good news here, Mark. So the country this week. That brings us to our poll question of the day. Are you concerned that any of them might hinder your travel plans between now and the weekend? So let's take a look at the results so far. Nearly 10% of you say, yes, I am worried they may hinder my travel plans. About 90% of you say no. Some of you say that's because, nope, I don't have any travel plans. In fact, on Twitter, Joe says, nope, I never leave my house except to buy groceries or work. We want to hear from you, so make sure you respond to our poll on Twitter. But Seattle, it's just rain for you, and that's going to stick around off and on through the rest of the week. There will be some opportunities of dry weather to get out there, though, in between. So we've got a snow aspect to this and a rain aspect to this as well. And winter storm watches continue to get posted and expanded farther to the north and towards the east. So they start out here in the Sierras, snow expected for places like Tahoe and Reno. Snow advisories across parts of the Four Corners, and watches extend into South Dakota and Nebraska as well. We need snow in this part of the country. Our deficits really adding up in many of our western cities. In fact, over a foot snowfall deficit for a place like Cheyenne, Wyoming. In fact, you've only had 3 inches of snowfall so far this season. Here's the evolution of our system. There you see that moisture working into the Pacific Northwest. This will be working its way southward and eastward with time. Storm really starts to ramp up a little bit as it moves across the Four Corners region. That's going to bring snow across the Wasatch and then work its way into the Rockies and then eventually work its way into parts of the plains. So confidence high here that we're going to get some double-digit snowfall totals across the higher elevations of the Sierras as well as into the Rockies. This is much needed snow over the drought regions. Now, when the system spills out of the west, though, it's going to be bringing in a lot of snow to the Sierras. And up on how many days? So here we go, going through another one today without any snow on the ground. So it's been 7.5 months or 231 days since last April that we had measurable snow on the ground. This is also the latest in the season that we've ever not had any measurable snow. So we've broken that record. Will we get another if we make it to Sunday? The answer is yes, but I'm not so sure we're going to be able to do that. So let's get you up with the latest of what's going on here with our storm across parts of the west. And this is all moving in already into the Pacific Northwest. We've had a snow drought really taking place across the Sierras, across the Wasatch, into the Rockies. U.S. snow cover only about 19% here, but that is going to change by the end of the week. We're going to see a lot more of the west with some snow on the ground. So this all really gets started for tonight. Look at how our area of low pressure really begins to take shape and organize itself. We've got a lot more moisture kicking in through Thursday with all of our advisories and watches and warnings into effect. This will cross the Rockies, work its way into parts of the plains, and keep on going, but you'll be in the warm side of things by the time it reaches the East Coast. How much snowfall are we talking about? Well, we could get a good 8, 10, 12 inches of snowfall into parts of the Sierras. As for the Wasatch, we could be talking about a good 5 to 8 inches of snowfall there. The Rockies, we could be talking about as much as 2 feet of snow into the higher elevations. Denver, for you, I think a coating. If we get something measurable, I think we're going to be in good shape, and I don't think anybody in the metro is going to get anything over 2 inches, maybe more like an inch or so. Here's your forecast, though, to show you that timing. And notice our daytime highs already getting back up to the 30s, so you know that any snow that does fall isn't going to be lasting very long. South, it's across North Florida right now, and that warm front is going to be lifting northward over the next couple of days. At the same time, that attendant cold front will be following, and that's going to allow a big surge of moisture to infiltrate the region once again. Higher dew points, higher moisture, more fuel for storms to get going. It also puts us in that warmer sector where temperatures are going to be about 10 to 20 degrees above the average, so things are going to warm up again. You put those ingredients together, and it's easy to get severe weather to break out even in the month of December. So severe weather will be likely in some areas, at least possible, on Friday into Friday night. I think the conditions are going to be most favorable into the evening hours. The risk stretches from the Gulf Coast, including you in Houston and over towards Lafayette, all the way up into the Ohio River Valley, including Indianapolis, but most likely in Louisville, Evansville, Nashville, Memphis, Little Rock, as well as into the Shreveport area. So a few tornadoes will be possible, but also we could get some lines of thunderstorms developing, creating some straight line damaging winds. So nice big piece of energy and a big trough that's going to be dipping through the region. We'll have that warm air and a lot of energy sufficient to provide that support and lift to get storms going. Our strong low-level jet will help to bring in that moisture, and our winds will be turning with height, leading to the chance of a couple of supercell thunderstorms, or Carl, maybe a line of those storms that could be developing with embedded tornadoes within them. Those are always tricky, especially